Hey guys, it's Mr. Dugal, and today we're going to talk about factoring. If we do a really great job of understanding how to factor a number, it will help things be easier for us in the future. So the first thing I want to talk about is a method I use to factor called the U method. And you'll kind of see how this works as we go through. But basically, when we are factoring 24 or factoring any number for that matter, we're basically trying to find reverse multiples. And what I mean by that is we're trying to find all the numbers that if you count them out as multiples, hit 24. So for example, we'll just use the multiples of 10. Multiples of 10 include 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 24 is not one of the numbers that it hits. So 10 would not be a factor of 24. Okay, so that's kind of the idea here, is to find all the reverse multiples. So the most obvious factor pair that I have of 24 is 1 times 24 equals 24. So that is my first factor pair. And I'm going to just keep counting up from 1 until the U method really starts to hit home. So after 1, the next number I would check to see if it is a factor is 2. Since 24 is an even number, 2 is a factor of 24. And 2 times 12 gives me 24. Now how the U method works is every time I add a factor pair, my pool of what numbers can be included as a factor shrinks. So right now, and that's what this U is here for, it's trying to tell us that all the factors can be, or all the numbers in between 2 and 12 right now. So the only numbers I need to check still are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And so I only need to check the numbers in between 2 and 12. So my next number up is 3. And when I count out my multiples of 3, I find 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 multiples to get there. So 3 times 8 is 24. Hopefully this helps us understand when we refer to multiples as a reverse multiple, this is what we mean. Can the number hit 24 when we get there? Okay, we move our U down, and now we have to update our list of possible numbers. We know obviously we've checked 3, we've checked 8, and how the U method works is we no longer have to check 9, 10, or 11. So our pool of numbers just shrunk a lot more because we eliminated not only 3 and 8, but we also eliminated 9, 10, and 11. It can't be anything bigger than the right side of the U. Okay, the next number I want to check is 4. And if I list out my multiples of 4, I get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multiples of 4. When I now update my list, as I go to update my list, I want you guys to think through which numbers need to fall off my pool of numbers. What numbers can no longer be a factor of 24, or they already are a factor of 24. Okay, so as I look at my list, I now know that not only can 4 and 6 fall off my list because they already are factors listed on my list for 24, but 7 can no longer be a factor either. What this leaves is only 5 to check. This doesn't mean that 5 is or is not a factor. It just simply means that I need to check. So as we go through this, we're going to check 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I can actually stop right there because I just passed 24, which means that 5 is not a factor for 24. So if I had a question that asked me to list all my factors of 24, from least to greatest, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. And I'm just going following the U here. Okay, we're going to do one more example. This time we're going to use the number 36. Again, I'm going to start with 1, and 1 times 36 is a factor pair. Right now I have a large pool of numbers. I need to check all numbers in between 2 and 35. I know, though, that with a U method, this will quickly shrink. So the next number I'm going to check is 2. And I know that since 36 is even, 2 must be a factor. And 2 times 18 equals 36. My pool of numbers just shrunk down a lot because now the only possible numbers are all the numbers in between 2 and 18, meaning I just shrunk down all the numbers in between 18 and 36. Those can no longer be factors. The next number I'm going to check is 3, and 3 is a factor of 36. 3 times 12 is 36, which means I'm left to check all the numbers in between 3 and 12, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are the only numbers left that could possibly be a factor of 36. The next number I'm going to check is 4. And as I make my list of multiples of 4, I find 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. It is a factor. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 multiples to get there. So 4 times 9 is my factor pair. I want you to stop and evaluate what that means and which numbers could still possibly be factors of 36. Okay, I now know that not only can 4 and 9 not be factors of 36, but 10 and 11 now fall outside the range too, and they cannot be factors of 36. The next number I'm going to check is 5. I know that all of my multiples of 5 either end in a 5 or a 0, so I know that 5 is not on the list. The next number to check is 6, and my list of multiples for 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And as I count out my number of multiples for 6, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multiples of 6. So it's actually 6 times 6. This is actually the first time we've had a number multiplied by itself as one of our factor pairs during this session. What we call when we have one number multiplied by itself like this is called a perfect square. And it just means that one number is multiplied by itself. Okay, I can check 6 off the list. I want you to stop and think through, do I need to check to see if 7 and 8 are factors of 36? Or is that not necessary, and why? Okay, I do not need to check to see if 7 and 8 are multiples of 36, and that's because I now have 6 as a number on the right side of the U, and the U method says a number can't be bigger than any number I have on that list, which the smallest number on the right side of this list will always be the bottom number. So 7 and 8 cannot be factors either. So when I write out my list of factors for 36, I have, again, we're going to follow the U. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, I only need to include 1 6, even though it happens twice. 9, 12, 18, 36. These are my factors of 36. Okay, again, understanding factors is extremely important for middle school and even high school math. Hopefully this helps serve as a building block for you when it comes to factoring. Thanks so much for watching.